If you walked into this gym late, you would think the scoreboard wasn't working. It's 40-27.
And this is another enigmatic aspect of the season in the ACC. You just can't figure it out. You saw that last graphic. You know, who's to say who's the best team in this conference, notwithstanding the records?
Miller. Seminoles just trying to get anything started. Peterson in the ballgame, number 12. Snare with a drive and a rainbow off the glass. The second field goal of the half for the Seminoles. And only 4 points for Snare. And Raines has played pretty well. So Virginia Tech, very small right now. Lost it. Jarrell Eddy got it back. Their best outside shooter. May have to lean into one. Shot clock at 5 for Hudson. Good fake to get free. Missed the three.
Well, obviously playing with a short bench, nothing new for Virginia Tech over the last 4 years. They probably have suffered more injuries to key players than anybody in the conference.
Well, they've gone to short bench to almost no bench. Against this zone, which has been extremely effective. White with a miss. White got the rebound. White tries to keep it alive. Point blank looks, and they can't score again.
High anxiety for Florida State as they're getting shots now. Those last couple of attempts were right there.
The lead is 11, 40-29. We've played 30.5 minutes, and Florida State has... Maybe he can ignite something. Eddy with that great stroke, in and out. Let's go to Janine Edwards. Janine?
Timeout. He was basically looking for accountability, self-accountability, and holding one another accountable at the same time.
Well, they better find it in a hurry. Snare with a runner draws a foul.
Well, the idea of self-accountability in a game like this is so important. Guys have to recognize each one of you have to do your job. And right now, some guys are failing, others are overcompensating, and that's led to an imbalance.
Snare off the inbounds, clanks it off the glass.
And that's one example of taking a quick shot, not exploring, not getting everybody involved.
If you're not excited to play in a ball game at the start, it's pretty tough to find it during the game.
That's right. You cannot come in to this game at the opening tip seemingly disinterested or overconfident. You know, you got to have a motor.
Shot clock running down. Green with a rainbow and got the roll. 16 points for Eric Green. Another dangerous pass that sets up a missed jumper, but the follow is good by Xavier Gibson. Boy, they needed that. And now they're going to extend that defense. Crowd trying to help. Green, good pass to the outside, but a wild shot by Finney-Smith. On the run, Jeff Peterson to Greg.
On your offensive end,
we've talked about Dualkey's ability to shoot outside. Snare is the guy who can penetrate. This is Brown looking for a screen. Virginia Tech satisfied to burn some clock on most possessions and try to do something in the last 10. Not a bad strategy when you're short-handed. Gibson all at once taking over on the boards as Hudson missed another shot.
Easy, Michael Snare. Jeff Peterson. Easy if you're Leonard Hamilton.
Yeah, turnovers have killed him. Miller. Ooh. almost walked, lost possession, the only reason he didn't. And that is a foul on the baseline as Snare tried to get into the lane.
And it looked like that quad cramped up.
Hopefully that's all that it is. Snare, nice drive. Snare starting to put the offense on his shoulders. He has a half dozen, and it's cut to 7.
Let's see a strong, aggressive move, which is a complete opposite of what they had done to open the half, just settling for long jump shots.
Let's figure out what Seth Greenberg wants on this possession. Eddie with a good fake, got it over to the corner, a miss, and the ball comes out to Green. They'll get a fresh 35.
And it looks like they want to use all of it as Green made a beeline back outside, reset the offense, and as you mentioned, shave some time.
Every possession makes it more difficult for Florida State on the other end because they don't score that much to start with. Almost taken back down. But here comes Peterson on the run for FSU. Virginia Tech nearly got another 35. Ian cut the lead down to 5. Now we're being told it may be more of a hamstring than a quad injury.
It's interesting if it's a hamstring because the way they were. What do I know? I've only suffered them a few times.
Well, the bottom line is he's lying on his back near the bench instead of playing. And Virginia Tech has to use another timeout because they were having trouble with a 5-second.
They've beaten Carolina, so, you know, they've got the advantage of the tiebreaker there. They just have to take care of business.
Especially at home. And that's going to be a foul on Miller. It is getting very physical.
When we talk about turning the tables, adversity and success, it's Virginia Tech that now needs to understand how to handle success. And Florida State has to overcome the adversity.
Green, their best ball handler. We started man-to-man by Snare as we approach 5 minutes. Virginia Tech being very deliberate, taking time off the clock on each possession. Worked for them so far. Green down the lane. Beautiful shot. Green is having a sensational night. 18 points.
And again, when we talk about his accomplishments and statistical rankings, I don't see any reason in the world why Eric Green wouldn't be among those first 5 guys in the ACC all-conference team thus far.
Certainly has to be one of your candidates.
Going to guard him, and over the outstretched arm of Bernard James, Eric Green finds some success.
James actually ended up setting a screen against his own man.
Yeah, you got to talk to each other out there, especially when you got 2 guys on 1 man.
Miller, really good long-range shooter. Dulkes tried to follow in midair. Dulkes ends up with the ball on the ground.
Timeout when they get tied up like that by calling it, even though the arrow is pointing to their team.
Snare will bring it off and give it off to Peterson. Good crossover by Peterson on the way in, draws a foul. Edwards.
Well, guys, I'm down here near Virginia Tech's bench, and just coming out of the locker room without his ankle boot on was C.J. Barksdale, who was out of the game with that sprained ankle from last week. So he just came out. He has sat down. He appears to be ready to go. They're still working on Reigns. They had him back in the tunnel running up and down, trying to loosen up his legs, and they've had him drinking a lot of Gatorade.
Janine, they may need to play him on one leg. They were hoping not to use him at all and thought that he could be back as early as this weekend if they gave him a rest. But they may need him down the stretch. The lead is 7. Snare had it blocked inside. Loose ball, Virginia Tech possession. Good hustle by both clubs. And time now a huge factor. 3:15 and counting. Hats off to Seth Greenberg. The coaching job he has done in this game, at about the 10-minute mark, that's where he said, we're going to take time off the clock on every possession. Maybe a long time, but this is our best shot to win.
Yeah, I mean, it allows war of attrition to become a little more even, whereas guys don't wear themselves out, expend too much energy in trying to save that lead.
Hudson at the buzzer, couldn't hit it. Now only 2:42 left. Peterson trying to penetrate, another dangerous pass. Well, Virginia Tech has played some really good defense, but Dulkes is alone, and he misses.
Offensive.
Whoa. Still up 44-37 with 2:29 to go.
Well, that's the stuff fairy tales are made of. Especially if he has a chance, Barksdale gets in the game and has some impact.
And how about makes the winning shot? Might as well do that if we're going to write the script for this. Green being hassled. And he missed the front end of a 1-and-1. That could be big. Louts trying to penetrate, offensive foul.
Snare on the wing for that penetrating kick, but he totally ignored him.
Eddie, guarded by Dulkes, he'll give it up to Green. Snare is on him, under 18 points tonight for Green.
Again, missed almost in the same spot.
Exactly the same. Looked like a replay the way it rolled off the rim. Knocked away by Green on the steal. And how smart is this? Time is more important than a field goal, and he brings it back out.
State offensive attack. They will fall into those doldrums. They have got to learn that they have to play at a high level every night. They can't try to match the level of their opponent.
Green double teamed in the backcourt. Can they beat the press? They do. Another smart play. Finney Smith says, don't need points, need time. And here's a foul on the double team, if you don't mind. 10 points for Jarrell Eddie. This has been a horrible offensive display by the Seminoles. Miller has to launch. Dulkes got a hand on it, kept it alive. Peterson hits it.
The RBI schedule strength, conference record, all those things obviously bode well. This is about seeding for Florida State.
Misses the first of two. These are huge free throws. Missed another one. So some of the best free throw shooters in the conference are not coming through in the clutch for Tech. Miller from long range. Peterson with a loose ball rebound. White. Seth Greenberg, who we saw on the way over to the gym, said, well, I don't think Victor Davila is going to be able to play, and probably not Barksdale. Steal. Instead, it goes to Tech.
And again, look at the chagrin and the anxiety on the coaching staff's face as they let one get behind the defense. They know what this game means.
He sneaked the peek. He didn't want to get the full-on look at it. 47-42. Louts. And he's fouled. Make him use a few seconds, then commit the foul. Takes a little more time off the clock. Miller. Got it!
An opportunity is about to slip through their fingers. They could have kept pace with North Carolina had they taken care of business.
Jarrell Eddie gives it up to Green.
Now Virginia Tech has some purpose, whereas before the timeout, they had no purpose, no rhyme or reason.
Green and Brown in the backcourt. About a 9-second difference between the game clock and shot clock. Seth Greenberg says, now, go get it. Brown into the lane, kicks it. Three, no. Offensive rebound to Georgia.
Virginia Tech putting three guys back defensively, but Florida State doesn't get a running start.
Missed them both. Again. How many can they miss? Snare for the win. Got it! 2.6 6 seconds left.